So welcome everyone. Happy Saturday. And you are live on the Quantum Field X39 training call. I'm really happy that you're here. It's going to be me for a whole hour. And I've got so much information to share with you. I want to teach you all exactly what I've been doing consistently and persistently to build a very large organization. In fact, the largest organization in a 19-year-old company, and been able to accomplish that in 3.5 years. So I'm really happy you're here. If you've noticed that one of your team members isn't on, or 2 or 3 of your team members on, take a second, send them a text, say, hey, jump on live. It's going to be Onyx for the whole hour, and we're going to have fun. I hope that's okay. And we're going to learn a lot, which I hope that's okay. And I'm going to teach you everything that I do, everything that I know. Okay, so one of the things that I love about network marketing is it's different than traditional business. In traditional business, people tend to hold their secrets and they don't want to share what they're doing that has helped make them a success. So for instance, if you own a real estate office and it's a multi-million-dollar real estate office, and a new real estate office comes into the same shopping center, maybe 2 doors down, you don't go walking over there, knocking on the door and say, hey, I'm Onyx and I'm from such and such real estate firm and we're doing millions a year in sales. And I just want to come over here and I want to tell you all of my secrets so that you too can be a success. My experience in traditional business is that sort of thing never goes on. But in network marketing, and certainly in this organization, if you've noticed, we're all about sharing. Network marketing, to me, is about lifting everybody up. All boats rise in a rising tide. So for me, it doesn't matter whether you're in my organization or you're in a completely different organization in the company, all boats rise in a rising tide. So I like to help everybody that wants help. But network marketing is not an entitlement business. So it's not that you show up here and you're entitled to earn this much money, or you're entitled to, this position or that position. This is a work. You're going to do some work. But I love what Gina says, this is great work. If you can peel off the sticker on the back of this patch, you can build a big business. This is not hard work. This is not getting out every day and digging a ditch. And speaking of Gina, today is Gina's 61st birthday. So if you all know her and you want to send her a little love, I'm sure she'd love to get an email or a text message just giving her a little extra love. She does so much for each and every one of us. So what I want to start it with is a little bit about me and my story. And not because it matters to me, it's because I hope in hearing a little bit more about my story, you will see yourself in me. So when I started in network marketing, I actually started because of Steve and Gina. And Steve and Gina's children used to babysit my children. I had a traditional company, a traditional business. And to be honest, I spent my entire life running from network marketing. I never wanted to have anything to do with it. And it was funny. I remember at one point, this was before I had children, I was living in New Zealand and I had flown to Australia. I was maybe 27, 28. And I'd flown to Australia to listen to Anthony Robbins. And it's the first time I saw him. He was in a huge stadium in Australia. It was a very powerful event, as Anthony Robbins usually does. And there were 3,000 people in the room. And he starts talking about residual income. And I'm scratching my head going, residual income? How is a blonde from South Florida going to earn residual income? I don't know anything about that. I don't know how to create a residual income. I know how to work. I know how to be a workhorse. I know how to show up and give 110% each and every day, which is going to give me this much money based on the time that I put in or the job that I'm holding down. And so I didn't understand that if you pick the right network marketing opportunity, you can actually create residual income. So I was deflecting everybody who was coming to me about a network marketing opportunity when I was in my late 20s and early 30s, instead of opening my heart and opening my mind to consider what's the possibility. Now, there is a difference in network marketing opportunities because some opportunities are what's called party plans, like Tupperware or well, we'll just say with Tupperware. So you basically do a party, and when you do a party, you make money based on the sales that you make for that party. But if you're like Gayla, who happened to have a major accident in her son's life, and she had to unplug from her LifeWave business for, I think it was a little over 2 months, to be with her son in the hospital. And she had chosen X39, and she had chosen LifeWave, and she had invested the time to consistently and persistently build her business over the past 2 years. When she had a family emergency, she was able to unplug from her LifeWave business, and her team continued to build the business because she had invested the time and the energy and the money consistently and persistently building her business, not just for her own business, but for the people within her organization. And Gayla's business went right all the way up through senior presidential director, even though she wasn't fully engaged at that time in the business because her personal life had taken over. That's called residual income. So residual income is where you do work today and you get paid over and over and over and over and over for the work or the contact that you made today. So let's take the story of how I came here to LifeWave. I was introduced to this product by a girlfriend named Kathy Rodriguez. And when Kathy came to me about the product, she called me, and as you all know, I was in Santorini, Greece on vacation with my middle daughter at the time. And she asked me if I had ever heard of LifeWave, and I said, no. And she said, well, have you heard of X39? And I said, no. And she's like, Onyx, it's a 16-year-old company. I said, well, I don't care. I still never heard of them. And she said, do you know what photobiomodulation is? And I said, yes, Kathy, I do. She's like, I knew you would know that. And I said, yes, I have a red light bed in my house. And so when I came back from Santorini and I spent time looking at the opportunity, and there wasn't much to look at back then, but I looked at whatever there was available at that point. And I called her up the next day and I said, Kathy, are you in? And she said, why? And I said, because I'm enrolling. And she's like, oh, okay. And I asked her, where did this product come from? And this product came from a chimney sweep. And so I said to Kathy, call the chimney sweep and tell him he's about to be blessed. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, I want to go on his inside leg, because I know what I can create in this business. It's a binary, which means I only have to build 2 legs. I can build 2 legs in this business. I don't need to be on somebody's power leg. And she said, okay. So the chimney sweep took a chance, walked across the street, told Kathy to lift up her hair, stuck an X39 patch on the bottom of her neck, gave her a few extra patches and left. He did the work one time. Now, he had no idea that Kathy Rodriguez was good friends with Onyx Coale. He had no idea that Kathy was going to end up with a great testimonial in 4 days. He had no idea that Kathy would call Onyx, and Onyx would see an opportunity here to be able to change people's lives. And so since that day, about 3.5 years ago, the chimney sweep has been making residual income off of all of the volume that I have brought in over the last 3.5 years, because he did the work one time. He took a chance. He walked across the street, told Kathy to lift up her hair so that he could stick an X39 patch at the bottom of her neck. This is the power of residual income. Now, this is also the power of you don't know who your friends know. So it's really interesting in this business, and I've seen it happen so many times, where you introduce this product to maybe a warm contact or maybe an absolute cold contact. And one of those contacts happens to have somebody that takes off or in this business, and bam, and you had no idea that they knew who they know. It's fascinating to me how this business works. So when I started in this business, I came kicking and screaming. As I told you, I had, since my early 20s, I had always run from network marketing. My friends and family had told me, that's not a real business. You'll get in trouble. That's one of those pyramid things, blah, 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 blah. The sad thing is I listened to it. And so because of their conversation, and they weren't paying my mortgage, they didn't understand the bills that I had, having 3 young children. They had no idea what I wanted to accomplish in my life, but I let strangers or family members control what was right for me. Now, when Steve and Gina came to me with an opportunity, I said no. And they didn't take it as a no, never. They took it as a no, not right now. They came back again and asked, and I said no again. They came back again, and I said no again. They came over on their boat because we lived on the same lake at that time, and I said no again. And then they came back again in the month of December, and I had always taken the month of December off to look at any opportunities that I might have missed. And I went and I saw for the first time in my life the circles being drawn. Now, I'd run my whole life, you all. So the first time in my life I saw the circles being drawn, I'm looking at that. My brain is going, whoa, what have I been afraid of? Why was I so resistant to network marketing? You can't make money unless you help other people make money. That's literally what I said to them. And they said, yes. I'm like, wait a minute. In corporate America, you have to typically climb over somebody in order to make money. You're saying here, you're actually going to help other people make money and you will make money for helping other people? I said, yeah. I looked at them. They must have thought I had like 8 eyeballs, because I'm like, my brain's going, this doesn't make any sense. I've been running from something that's the very thing that I was looking for. Now, with no network marketing experience, like none, you guys, none, I went about to build a business. Single mom. I had 3 young children. I had no idea what I was doing. I was ignorance on fire, and I made a classic mistake, which is I talked too much. And so I would come up to my friends and go, blah, and my friends would be like, what happened to Onyx? Where did she go? They didn't understand. And so I had to learn how to dance. And I talk about that even today. I had to learn how to interact with other people that pays attention to their cadence, pays attention to their speed, pays attention to their needs as opposed to mine. So when I was talking to people originally, it was all about Onyx, because Onyx didn't know anything else. So, oh my gosh, you can earn free trips, and oh my gosh, you can make residual income, and oh my gosh, you can change people's health, and oh my gosh, and oh my gosh, and oh my gosh. But it didn't pay at all attention to what's going on for them. So the reason I tell you this story is because I want you to get that. And by the way, I was in that business for 7 years. In those 7 years, I earned $17 million. This is a single mother from South Florida with no network marketing experience. There's nothing special about me. I will tell you the thing that I've recognized now is what makes me different is I have daily disciplines. And the system in LifeWave that I established is daily discipline. So that's why it's working so well. And the reason I know it's working so well is not just because the quantum field is the fastest growing organization in the company, not because we are the largest organization in the company. I know that it's working so well because I'm seeing people that with no network marketing experience and people with network marketing experience that are earning 4, 5, 6, and even 7 figures. And I've only been here for 3.5 years. So anybody in my organization hasn't been here for longer than 3.5 years. So we know the system works. Now, system for some people is like, what is that big word? That's kind of scary. And in some ways it is. But what the system does is it protects regular people like you and me. It helps regular people like you and me win in a simple business like X39 and LifeWave. The reason is because personalities don't duplicate. Systems duplicate. So I'm going to say that again. Personalities don't duplicate. Systems duplicate. So think about Steve and Gina Merritt. I adore these two. They are network marketing royalty. They are so special. They're so warm to my heart. Are they huge personalities? Both of them are massive personalities, correct? And they get to do it together, which is so cool. I always said, there's 2 of you and there's only 1 of me. And it's wonderful to see. Think about Mike and Sahi. two huge personalities, same thing. They get to do it together, which is cool. Think about Renita and Scott, huge personalities, and they also get to do it together. Think about Matt and Kim Curtis, two huge personalities. They get to do it together. Now, there's also people like me that I'm a big personality and it's just me. Or Bart, he's a big personality and it's just him. Or Jill, she's a big personality and it's just her. So the cool thing about this business is it doesn't matter if you're one or two. It doesn't matter if you have a big personality or a little personality, or you're just getting started trying to figure out who you are and how you want to present in the world if you have a system that works. So I'm not looking to sponsor personalities. I'm looking to bring people into the business that want to plug into a successful system. So it's systems that duplicate, not personalities. I hope that's making sense for everybody. So when I got here, there was like Kathy and I and almost nothing. There was very few videos. There was very little of what was capable or what was possible or what is currently here. And so the system now is completely developed. It is built out. And the neat thing is all you all have to do is plug in. Now, my organization, I haven't looked, it is well over 100,000 people. And I can't find each and every one of you. But those of you who know me, you know I serve each and every one of you. It doesn't matter. You all need something, you send me an email, you send me a text message, and I'm right on it because it's my pleasure and my honor to work with each and every one of you. We are business partners together, just like Steve and Gina. Same thing. You text them or email them, bam, they're right there to help you all succeed. But I'm only helping the people that are plugging in. I'm only helping the people that are looking for me. So Lonnie, would you pull up that first screen that shows the different places that you can plug into the Facebook page, to the all that, you know, that shows all the different the QF code screen. Are you there, Miss Lonnie?
I am. Hold on.
No problem. So one of the things I want to encourage you to do, like right now, if you're not currently attached to us in the Facebook team group, I want you to go there and send an invite to join the team Facebook group. Okay, we're going to get to that soon. That's the one of the compensation pages. So I also want you to go to YouTube. Go to the Onyx Coale, and my last name is spelled C-O-A-L-E, Network Marketing YouTube page, and hit subscribe. Now I have an IT team, y'all. It's actually my girls, and I can tell you a little bit about that if you want. But my girls are now in the business with me. So when I built the business last time with Steve and Gina, my girls were tiny, and they earned free trips. They went to Hawaii 7 years in a row, and they lost out on other things because I said to them when I started, Mom is going to be building a business, so you're not going to do 5 after-school activities every day. You're going to get to do 1. But Mom's goal as a single mom is that I'm going to get you to Hawaii for that free trip every year. And the kids went, I don't remember, I think it was 7 or 8 trips to Hawaii. So this is the right group of slides, Lonnie. We're just looking for the one with the QR codes. So I want you all to plug in. Now the girls, so here's you can see right there on the left, startx39.com. This is part of the system. If you haven't been there, I want you to go there at the end of this call. The next one over is the team Facebook page. If you are not part of this Facebook page, you are not plugged in, and you cannot, well, you can. It'll be harder to build this business without plugging in. Remember, systems duplicate, personalities don't. So plug in, be a part, so that we can interact with each other and help you succeed. We're not novices at this. Steve and Gina and I have done this before. We ran a company to $1 billion together when the United States of America was going into a recession. And I often say this, I'm going to say it again because it's the most amazing thing to watch. When a network marketing company does $1 billion in sales, that means $600 million is paid out in commissions to regular people, to brand partners like you and me. And so you will change people's lives not just with this amazing X39 patch. You can change people's lives financially. I watched thousands of people's lives change as we drove this company to $1 billion. We're doing it right now. This organization is breaking ranks. It is multiplying so fast. It's crazy. But what do you all have to do? Remember what I said at the beginning. This is not an entitlement business. So what does that mean? You have to do the work. You have to plug in. But this is easy work. If you can peel the back of this sticker, off of this sticker, you can build yourself a big business. But I need you all to plug in so that we can find you. Otherwise, I can't find you. I wish I could, but it's impossible. We're growing so fast. So plug into that Facebook page. If you can do it right now while we're on here, do it right now. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. Why? Because my girls are putting up 1 or 2 new videos each and every day. There is no shortage of information in this system. Then you'll see there's a separate Facebook page for testimonials. I never use that page personally, but it is there for those of you that want it. And then the last one is the most amazing site, which is our training site, which is we're going to go over today, which is the 9 steps to success. So that's the Build 331 training site. So personalities, thank you, Lonnie. Personalities don't duplicate, systems do. If you haven't taken a photo of that screen, I encourage you to take a photo of that screen. Sorry, Lonnie. Take a photo of that screen so you can be sure to go to each one of those places and plug in so that you can participate in this rocket ship ride that is taking off. We're like fueling, we're getting things going. The thing is already moving. There's space in this rocket ship for each and every one of you. You have not missed the ride. The ride has just started to take off. I want you all to think about it. David told us that in the month of February, we did $31 million in sales. So maybe 11 million of the 31 million is the United States. So maybe that's what, $140 million annually is the US volume. This product alone in the United States, the X39, is easily $1 billion product just in the US. So you have not missed the ride at all. You are right on time. So what does it take? It's going to take for you to choose to plug into the system. Now, how do you plug in? Different ways. First of all, I would tell you, thanks, Lonnie. Now you can get rid of it if you want. What I would tell you all is, just like me, I encourage you to be ignorance on fire. So what does that mean? If you're just getting started in the business, you're on exactly the right call, today's training call. And I want you to be ignorance on fire. I do not want you to know everything there is to know about X39 or everything there is to know about David Schmidt or everything there is to know about LifeWave or everything there is to know about the science or photobiomodulation or any of that stuff. I want you to be ignorance on fire. Ignorance on fire, it means that you are excited and you don't know everything and you're not ashamed of the fact that you don't know everything. Now, I've been here for 3.5 years. I know a lot about X39. I know a lot about David Schmidt. I know a lot about LifeWave. And do you know how much I say? As little as possible. Today, 3.5 years later, I'm still doing everything that I'm going to be teaching you today to do. So for instance, the system is Build 331, which means interact with 3 people a day about X39. Follow up with 3 people a day about X39 and invite 1 a day to either a Zoom, show them the plan yourself, or send them one of the recordings. One of my favorite recordings, and we'll show it in a few minutes, is the opportunity call that Sarah and Devin did. I love that call. It's 30 minutes. It's succinct. Those 2 are on their game. They're big-hearted. They're beautiful people. This organization is full of amazing, amazing leaders and amazing, amazing people, including you. We're really happy that you're here. We're really happy to see where you're going to grow. We're really happy to see you become the best you. So for instance, I'm still doing 331. Yesterday, I had, first thing in the morning, I had a woman come out from the Container Store to measure up my closet. And she said to me, okay, I'll send you the drawings for the closet tonight. And she said, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to the dentist this afternoon and he's going to remove a tooth and I'm not sure how I'll feel tonight. I said, it's no problem, sweetie. If the drawings come tonight, that's great. If they come tomorrow, that's great. If they come on Monday, that's great. I said, would you like to activate some of your own stem cells? She said, what do you mean? I said, I have the most amazing product. And I went, grabbed one of my sample envelopes that has the X39 in it. I pulled the sticker off the back and I put one right up behind her neck. And I said, give me your cell phone number. I'm going to text you a link. I texted her startx39.com. I said to her, this patch is a frequency patch, which means nothing passes through the skin. We did $31 million last month in sales. We have over 120 patents and 80 scientific studies. Take it off tonight, throw it away before you go to sleep and put a new patch on in the morning. That's all I said. So that was Kim, the girl, perfect stranger who happened to come over from the Container Store in order to measure out my closet. Later in the afternoon, I was actually at a drip place and I had a patch. As it turned out, I had it on my hand. Now remember, with X39, any spot will do. Somebody who's sitting in the chair next to me said to me, what is that? And I said, oh, that's a stem cell activation patch. What are you talking about? Are you serious? I said, yes, I'm serious. Where do you get that? I said, oh, well, you have to get it from a brand partner. If you give me your cell phone number, I'll text you a link. I texted them, startx39.com. I said, check it out. Send me a text later if you're interested. I didn't give them a sample. I didn't feel like they needed a sample. Then last night, I went to a ladies' event. There were 19 women in the room. I didn't know any of them at all. They were all complete strangers. At the end of the event, somebody came up to me and said, I love your energy. You are so grounded. And I'm like, me? Okay, thanks. And she said, what do you do? And I said, I do a stem cell activation patch. She's like, are you kidding? I said, no, and it's affordable. She's like, it is? I said, yes. I said, give me your cell phone number and I'll text you a link. And I texted her the link. I pulled out my sample envelope. I said, this is what it looks like. I said, it's same thing. I said, it's a frequency patch. Nothing passes through the skin. We did $31 million last month. He's got 120 patents, more than 80 scientific studies. She looked at me, she said, is it network marketing? I said, it sure is. I'm not apologizing for the fact that it's network marketing because I don't know any other place that regular people like you and me can earn residual income. I don't know any other place like regular people like you and me can change people's health. I don't know any other place where regular people like you and me can change our lives and change our friends' lives and change our families' lives and change our cold contacts' lives financially. And I don't know a better place where we can find a community of people. And after she asked me that question, she said, Onyx, I said, what? She said, I love network marketing. I said, well, wait till you see this product. So she takes it on, she's like ready to pull it off. And it's like 10:30 at night. The event just finished. And I said, wait, and put it on in the morning. She's like, are you sure? I really want to put it on. I said, I know, but I want you to be able to wear it all day. So I'll text you in the morning to remind you to put it on, but just put it next to your toothbrush and put it on tomorrow morning. So just like you, I'm doing 3-3-1 each and every day. Now, this system is set up not to close 3 people a day, but to interact with 3 people a day about X39. So if you text somebody a link, that counts in my book. If you patch somebody, that counts in my book. If you spend your time studying something on Start X39 website or studying something on Build 331, that does not count as one of your 3 people a day. If you all will follow the system, what duplicates? Personalities or systems? Systems duplicate. If you would follow the system and consistently and persistently work your business, what you will find is at the end of 1 week, if you've done 3 people a day, you've talked to 21 people. Remember what I talked about, that dance? I had to learn that dance the first time I did a network marketing opportunity because I'm a woman and I like to talk and I talk too much. And I was talking myself or them out of sales because I wasn't listening. So I've learned that you listen more than you speak. And I told you just yesterday, the 3 contacts that I made around X39, they were all cold contacts. And in those 3 contacts, you saw, I told them about 3 things, very, very little. The less you say, the better. The reason is it's different when you're building a network marketing opportunity to a traditional business. So in a traditional business, typically, the more you know, the more you get paid. You get higher up the ranks, higher up the food chain, I guess is really what I should say. And in a network marketing business, it's what duplicates that works. So in a network marketing business, it's what duplicates that works. So if I tell everyone I meet, if I told those 3 people yesterday, everything I knew about X39 and about LifeWave and about David Schmidt, they would look at me at the end and say, I can't do this business. If I say to them, give me your cell phone number, I'm going to text you a link, and I text them startx39.com, they say to themselves, I can text a link. This is an easy business to do. And it is an easy business to do. But it requires that you show up and you plug in and you participate. And I encourage you to do that every day, as opposed to 2 times a week or 3 times a week. The reason is, if you follow the system and you do 3 people a day as a contacting about X39, then at the end of 1 week, you will have contacted 21 people. At the end of 2 weeks, you will have contacted 42 people. At the end of a month, you will have contacted 84 people. You will be getting yeses by the end of your first 30 days, even if you've never, ever, ever had network marketing experience. It's inevitable. This is the funnest product I've ever used because it's so unusual. It's unimpressive. I think that's one of the hardest things about it. People kind of look at this, what is this, a little round Band-Aid? You know, it's not impressive in what it looks like. It's impressive in how it allows the body to heal itself. But the patch in and of itself, very unimpressive. Are the patents impressive? Yes. Are the scientific studies impressive? Yes. Is David Schmidt impressive? Yes. But the patch, it just looks like a little round Band-Aid, right? How can this little thing change my life as much as it already has? So the system, we've talked about it 3 or 4 times. StartX39.com. That is the one and only thing I send to 100% of the people who I interact with about X39. If I interact with them about X39, I'm texting them a link 100% of the time. I'm not trying to figure out what video they might like. I'm not trying to find what testimonial might match to their condition. I'm texting them startx39.com. That site is so powerful. 1, it doesn't take any data at all, which means you can send your contacts there and you won't lose them. They have to come back to you in order to sign up in the business. 2, it allows your contact to take a shallow dive or a deep dive. And so, well, we're not going to talk about it today. There's lots of different personality types. And some people like to have all the science and all the information, and they want to watch all the videos, and they want to read the patent, and they want to, look at all the testimonials, and they want to really chew up all that information that's there. Other people want to watch a 2-minute video and they're ready to say yes. So when you use that site, you're setting yourself up for success because you're setting them up for success because it honors them with who they are, whether they are a shallow dive or a deep dive. Let me get a sip of water. Okay, so let's go to build 331, please, Lonnie. So that's the first thing I do. I have sample envelopes with the little cards inside. This is what I use. Now, Lonnie, can we go to where the sample envelopes and cards? So let me back up for a minute. This is build 331. This is our team training site. This is the 9 steps to your success. This site, as well as startx39.com, are translated into 104 languages. So no matter what country they're in, odds are we're translated into their language. Now, remember, we're only open in 75 countries, and you do not want to build business in a country that we're not legally open in. Mistake, 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 mistake. Do not do it. I'm certain it's against policies and procedures, and it's a colossal waste of your time. Stay focused. Personally, if you live in the United States of America, I would stay right here in your own backyard. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have an uncle or a cousin in Australia. You can't put them in the business, or you don't know somebody in Portugal. You can't put them in business. Of course you can. But the momentum is here in the US. It's happening in other places as well. But this is about to take off. The rocket ship is about to take off. If we did 10 or 11 million of that 31 million last month in the United States, it says to you, woo, we're in that sweet spot of momentum. And momentum is huge in any business, whether it's traditional or it's a network marketing business, but it's specifically very important in a network marketing organization. So let's show these sample envelopes, please, Lonnie. So I go to this site, and you'll find a link on this site for these sample envelopes. They come from a third-party provider, and you sign up with them. I don't make any money from this. Steve and Gina don't make any money from this. You're buying them direct from them. What I do, you can do whatever you want. This is your business. Your business belongs to you. I'm just here to share with you what I do. What I do is I print these envelopes. Some of them on the back here, I print with my name and my phone number, and others I print blank. And so the reason that is I want to set people up for success. So I have some that are blank like this one, and I have others that are printed. So if I'm sharing with Kim, the girl who came over and did my closets, that's going to be my personally sponsored person. So I'll give her one of the envelopes with my name and address on it. Now, if Kim says, yes, I want to join this business, then what I want to do is set Kim up for success. So we're going to shift gears, everyone. I hope everybody's okay. What we're going to do, what I do to set them up for success is, number one, I text them over an order form. Now, I know this is a little bit antiquated. You can certainly text them a link, but the reason I text the order form is what I have found in today's environment is everyone is so busy, and their intention may be to sign up in the business and to data enter themselves in order to join as, let's say, a brand partner who wants to join as a gold. But their husband walks in the room, or the dog comes in the room, or the kid comes in the room covered in mud, and they have to get up from the computer and they forget all about it. So for me, when Kim says, yes, I would like to order some of this product, I don't know yet whether she wants to be a brand partner or she wants to be a customer. And I'm going to let anybody I bring into this business come in at the level they can afford and at the type of person they want to be in this business. In other words, do you want to be a brand partner or do you want to be a customer? So what I do is I text them over the order form, and I tell them, I'm going to call you in 15 minutes. Now, the reason I do that is it lets them read. The order form is here. Actually, it's on this page as well. Sorry, it's on this website as well. So the reason that I text them over the order form is they can read the cost of the different packages. They can decide whether or not they want to be a brand partner or they want to be a customer. And then I pick up the phone and I call them, and I literally take their order over the phone. I write it all down. Once I write it all down, I go in and data enter them. Then I'm certain when Kim, the girl who came over yesterday for the closets, wants to join my business, I'm certain her husband hasn't derailed her by accident because he came in the room while she was data entering and she forgot, oh, I forgot to finish the order. So that keeps me in control of the business. So that's what I do. Once I data enter her into the business, then what I'm doing is I give her some of these sample envelopes that are not printed. The reason that I do that is because I'm setting her up to succeed. Sometimes I will give her her initial order. Let's say she came in as a gold. I might give her 5 sleeves and ship her first order direct to me and then set the auto ship to go direct to her house. It's going to, again, depend on the person. Or you can loan them a sleeve or 2 out of your stuff. So I give them the sample envelopes. I give them a sleeve or 2 out of my product and say, when your gold order arrives, please just return back my sleeves. If you're going to do that, keep a list, you all, of anybody that you lend product out to so that you can go back and get it from them, because this stuff is precious to me. I love these X39 patches, and I want to be sure that I get them back so that I can continue building my business if I've loaned them to somebody. So I give them sample envelopes. Potentially, I'm giving them some or all of their introductory order. Then I go to step 1 on Build 331, and I look for the Alex video. So the Alex video, it's under step 1, and it's the 331 system. You're in, that's a different step. You're at, I think that's a compensation plan. You go to step 1, Lonnie. Okay, wait a minute. It's the videos come up. It is that one right there, the top row, all the way to the right. It says Build 331 training. See that beautiful woman right there? That's Alex. I text them that video. That video, if you have not watched it, when we're done with this training, I encourage you to please watch this video. It's important. It'll help you. Remember what I said? You got to plug in. This is not an entitlement business. You've got to participate. But as Gina says, this is not hard work. We're not building a ditch, you guys. You're going to watch this short video of Alex. So I text them that video right there. The other thing I do, if you go back to where you were, Lonnie, is I grab this sheet, this PDF. You can grab right from, it's in step, which step, Lonnie? Is it step 8 or step 9? There it is. See right there? We just, yeah. What step are we, Lonnie? Is this step 8 or 9? Step 8, because that says continue to step 9. So if you go back down, so I just text them this one page. When Steve Merritt joined, that was his idea. So again, everybody brings something beautiful to this organization. These were here. Steve's like, I'm going to text them that one page. I'm like, that's brilliant, Steve. So what do? I copy. So I now text everybody the Alex video. I text them this one page. I say, this is your first goal in the business. I've given them some sample envelopes with my name is not printed on the back, so they look professional. And I potentially give them 1 or more sleeves to borrow, or I ship their initial order to me, depending on what I'm doing, so that they're ready to get started in the business. The last thing that I do is I tell them, call me tomorrow. Now, the reason I'm saying call me tomorrow is because if they call me, I know they're ready to start building business. If they don't call me, I don't call them. I continue, whether they're calling me or not, every day I do 331. Every single day, no matter what is going on in my world, no matter what is going on in my life, I do 331 every single day. Every day I'm bringing in, I'm attempting to bring in new people. Not everybody says yes to me or no to me either. I get yeses and I get nos. It doesn't matter to me which way. My goal is simply to interact with 3 people a day about X39. So I've now set them up for success. When they call me, I know I've got somebody that's ready to build business. Now, they might not call me tomorrow, even though I told them to. Maybe it's going to be 3 days. And when they call me in 3 days, guess what I'm doing? I'm answering the phone. I'm going to run as fast or as slow as they want to run. Here's the reason why. I learned in network marketing, you can drag that horse up the hill, and I am strong. And I can drag you guys all the way up that hill. And you know what happens when I get to the top of that hill? I look at the horse and I say, okay, horse, it's time to drink. And they don't drink. So what I've learned in network marketing is they've gotta wanna. So how do I personally decide that somebody wants to do it? Because they're calling me. When they're calling me every day, I know I've got somebody that's ready to build this business, that's ready to engage, that's ready to plug in, and I'm going to run as hard and as fast as they run. Now, let's take Steve and Gina Merritt. I sent Steve and Gina Merritt a sleeve of X39 probably in the first week of August. Remember, I joined the last day of July. We built business together. Their children babysit for my children. We know each other well. We are good friends. I sent them this. They weren't ready to hear it. I had no system to offer them. I had nothing except I knew what this product would be. I knew what was possible. Nothing had been developed yet. So when they said no, I didn't close down and say, oh no, Steve and Gina Merritt said no to me. I'm never going to be able to survive my business. It's awful. I said, okay, great. Not right now. And I went about working my business. What did I do? 331, 331, 331. At the same time, what am I doing? I'm building the system. I'm building the system. I'm building the system. I'm not recommending that any one of you build a system. The system is built, you all. It's free. You don't have to build a system. Don't waste your time building a system. Plug in, use what's here. It's working. It's duplicating. It's free, and it's successful. When Steve and Gina, it took me 3 years of coming back around and offering. Remember, I told you when they invited me into the business, it took them 5 times. I kept saying no and no and no. It took me 3 years to get them to say yes, until I finally approached at a time when their door was no longer closed, their door was open, they were ready to hear. Now, they were ready to hear, but I had to speak in a way that was interesting for them. And at the time, Steve was flying off to Chicago to get another surgery. I'm like, Steve, man, I gave you this product 3 years ago. Would you please pay attention to me? For Pete's sakes, put this patch on. And you all have heard his testimonial. Within 1 week, he's no longer been swallowing all of those Excedrins. The pain was gone and has been gone for 8 months. But for 3 years, you all, they were closed. They weren't ready to hear. I didn't let it affect me. I put my blinders on. I know where I'm going. I keep doing 331. I don't worry about what anybody else says or does. I'll tell you another story about my mother. My mother has neuropathy. I know there's many of you on this call that have had neuropathy, that X39 has allowed your body to heal itself. And I said to my mother 3.5 years ago, Mom, would you please put this patch on? Oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. You know how it is. I'm not attached even to whether my mother says yes. So I think it was September this year, I was in Aspen at her house with my daughter, Sierra, and I was doing a Zoom call, and guess where I did it? I didn't do it in my bedroom. I did it out in the living room. And she's out in the living room with Sierra playing cards while I'm doing the Zoom call, and she's hearing what everybody is saying. And wouldn't you know it, God's good, because a testimony came on and somebody spoke about how they were able to heal themselves and that they used to have neuropathy. At the end of the call, my mother says to me, Onyx, can I have some of those patches? I said, yes, Mom, no problem at all. Mom was closed, just like Steve and Gina. Mom was closed, but I didn't let Mom being closed stop me and close me down to say, I'm not going to build this business. I'm not going to do 331. Mom being closed, that's her problem. Steve and Gina being closed, that's their problem. I'm busy building a big business. Now, Steve and Gina are not closed anymore. They're wide open. Guess what, you all? My mother isn't closed either. So 2 days ago, I gave my mom some patches, of course, and she's been wearing them since September. So she sends me a text message 2 days ago. She says, Onyx, I said, yeah. She said, I'm going back because she lives half the year in Boca and half the year in Aspen. And she said, I'm going to Aspen from May to September. And I'm leaving in the first week of May. And I don't have enough patches for myself for when I'm out there. I need to have some more X39 while I'm in Aspen. I was like, is this my mom? I mean, really? The same woman that said no to me 3 years is now sending me a text message saying to me she doesn't want to run out. So I don't get attached at all to what anybody says. Now, when you personally sponsor somebody, you go to work for them. Let me say that again. When you personally sponsor somebody, you go to work for them. It is your job to set them up to succeed. And it is my belief that you want to run with them as fast as they want to run. So when Steve and Gina Merritt said yes to Onyx, Onyx said, right? We're going to get to have fun again together, and we're going to get to change the world again together. I'm really excited. But here's what else Onyx said. Oh boy, this time I go to work for Steve and Gina. Last time Steve and Gina were my sponsors. This time I'm their sponsor, which means I have to be able to keep their pace. I have to set them up to succeed. Well, I know Steve and Gina. I know their work ethic. I know how they work. We've worked together. So guess what I did? I set up a crew and said, all right, we're ready. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, we're ready. This is what we're going to do. And I talked through the whole process because they didn't come here with a team. They picked up the phone and they started calling people. Now, some of the people they called, I knew. Some of the people they called, I didn't know. But they picked up the phone and they called everyone. And guess what? We did it that old antiquated way, and we data entered everyone. So literally me and my two girls were data entering people as Steve and Gina were picking up the phone and calling people, because I sponsored Steve and Gina Merritt, which means guess what? I go to work for Steve and Gina Merritt. So you're exactly the same. It doesn't matter whether you sponsor a single mom or you sponsor Steve and Gina Merritt. When you personally enroll somebody, you are responsible for helping them succeed in the business. One of the easiest ways to help them succeed, you all, is to get them to plug in. So if you get them to plug in, Steve, Gina, and I will help you and help them build business, because we're all business partners together. So I tell them to call me tomorrow. When they call me tomorrow, the first thing I do is say, how was Alex's video? Now, if they say, I haven't watched it yet, I say, okay, great, no problem. I talk with them a little bit and I say, great, I want you to watch Alex's video and call me tomorrow, so that they'll call me the next day. Because I want them to have a base of information on how the system works, whether they have been part of a network marketing business in the past or not. I want them to understand how this system works, because systems duplicate, not personalities. Systems duplicate, not personalities. In order for you to succeed easily in this business, it's to plug in and to get every one of your people to plug in. All of this stuff is free. We're the most amazing leaders in this group that pour into each and every one of us. I gain stuff all the time. I mean, the idea to text this, as soon as I put something in business, came from Steve Merritt. I'm now determined, I'm 56, I am determined to learn Spanish. I am so sick of watching Mike and Sahi be able to speak all that Spanish, and I can't speak any Spanish yet. For 56 years, I've been trying to master this, and I'm determined I'm going to learn Spanish. I get inspired by each and every one of you. We're part of a community. When I was at that event last night with the 19 or 20 other women, and everybody, we're all strangers. Everybody introduced themselves and said why they were there. I will tell you that every single one of them said, I've been looking for a community. So yes, X39 has a chance to change people in their health, because it allows their bodies to heal itself. Yes, X39 has a chance to change you and them in terms of your wealth, so that you don't even have to participate in that recession if you don't want to. But the other thing X39 and the Quantum Field team has a chance to do is to give them a community of like-minded people. And make no mistake, that is equally as valuable. I listened to it last night. I was absolutely blown away, just blown away. And this room was full of, there was some like mid-20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, and a few 50-year-olds in the room. And, you know, I called my daughter actually today and said to her, I went to this event last night, and it was fascinating to hear everybody, because the thing that I got as they went around the room is every single woman who spoke talked about the challenges she was facing right now. All of us on this planet are facing some type of challenge, whether it's a health challenge, a financial challenge, a family challenge, a personal challenge, a growth challenge. And there's nothing better than having a like-minded group of individuals to be able to walk through this world with. So I feel every day grateful and blessed that this amazing community I get to plug into and I get to be a part of, because it's full of fascinating, amazing people that want to see you succeed and want to see me succeed and want to help each other and just want to help the world. Okay. So the other thing, Lonnie, can we go to the hot sheet? Oh, to just finish this. So there are 3 sheets with this. The first one, as you know, is manager. The second one is how to get to director. And then the last one is how to get to senior director. So as they progress in the business, which means once they've reached the rank of manager, I'll send them a text message and say, congratulations, you just reached the rank of manager. What's the first thing I do? I put their photo on the Facebook page so that everybody in this organization can congratulate them, because everybody in this organization, we lift each other up. We love to see each other succeed. Then the next thing I do is I text them the next sheet and say, okay, here's your next goal in the business. And so they'll look at that sheet, they'll study that sheet, and they'll figure out, okay, this is really easy. I've already become a manager. Now I'm going to help 2 people in my organization become managers. And then once they reach that one, then I send them to the senior director sheet. And they look through that and they see the strategy of that. And then they figure out how they're going to become senior directors. And I walk through that process with them. Now, we are in the middle of a 90-day run to senior director. We are having an amazing party at Steve and Gina's home, and David Schmidt will be there. If you have not been to Steve and Gina's home, it's amazing. And it's amazing because you've got to remember Steve and Gina's story. Okay. Steve was doing promotions when I met them originally, and Gina was a flight attendant. And when you see this backyard, when you sit in this backyard, your belief system is going to go from here to here, because it shows you, wow, regular people can be a success in network marketing if they consistently and persistently work their business. Steve and Gina consistently and persistently work their business. I want to give a big shout out to Miguel in Portugal, who he just went senior director. He just qualified, and he sent me a note. He said, Onyx, I'm flying in. I said, what? He said, this is the longest I've ever gone for a dinner, but I think it's important. I really want to be there. I really want to shake hands with David Schmidt. I've earned it. I'm going to pay to fly in and to come to Steve and Gina's house and to be in Portugal. I said, to be in Steve and Gina's backyard. I said, how fantastic. So there is still time. It is April 1st. You've got 15 more days to still qualify for this amazing promotion, and you can do it. How do I know you can do it? Because if you consistently and persistently work your business, you'll watch your business will grow each and every day over time. So I'm about to run over, I have a feeling. So the only other thing I wanted to show you on here was the hot sheet. These pages right here, I love these 2 pages. If somebody's asking me about the compensation plan, I basically explain these 3 things, and then I tell them the computer will figure it all out. But in network marketing, I have learned that compensation plans are like reading French, or for me, Spanish, because I can't speak Spanish yet, but I will learn. And so I love these sheets because, like these sheets, they're very simple. People can print them out. They can read it. It's detailed, but it's simple, and they can look and learn on how they want to build this business. The only other tool that I use is this, which is the Story of LifeWave. It's a PDF. You can buy it from the same place you get these. If you want to buy it printed, you all can send it as a PDF, and that person can print it. I don't use this every time, but I do use it some of the times. And so Start X39, I use 100% of the time. The order form, I use 100% of the time. When they sign up, I'm giving them sample envelopes. I'm giving them 1 or more sleeves. Either I'm loaning it to them, or I'm giving them their first order and shipping their first order to me, and then putting auto ship going to their house. I am sending them this step, how to get to a manager, and I'm sending them Alex's video. This I use sometimes, not every time. So I have just given you everything that I do and use in building my business. And it's 3 people a day. It's not 3 people a day have to say yes. It's not close 3 people a day. If you text out the X39, Start X39 link to 3 people a day, you're a success. You accomplished your goal. You want to follow up with 3 people a day, and then you want to show the opportunity to 1 person a day. I want to remind you all, we have opportunity meetings on Monday night and Wednesday night at 8 p.m., which you can send your prospects to. You all should jump on as well. We have Thursday night at 8 p.m. in Spanish. Historically, in network marketing business, the Spanish community makes up 23% of the United States market. You all, if the Spanish community in LifeWave makes up 2% in America, I'd be surprised. That screams opportunity. It's screaming opportunity. So for me, I want to learn Spanish because I know this is important. Also, on Fridays at noon, we do a 30-minute opportunity call, which is great. One, if you only have a smaller amount of time, or two, if you're in Europe, that time frame works for the people in Europe. And then, of course, every Saturday at 1 o'clock, we do a training like you've done here. So at the beginning of this call, and I've talked a lot. Oh my God, I talk a lot. I'm sorry. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I hope you all learned so much. My intention is that you leave this call being ignorance on fire, not worrying about knowing everything. If you are brand new to this opportunity and you don't know everything, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. The cool thing is you were sponsored by somebody in this business. That person goes to work for you. So if somebody you meet, when you take off the back of this sticker on the patch, asks you a question that you don't know, I look at them straight in the face and I smile. I'm like, yes, because it just gave me a reason to follow up you all, which means I'm part of that second 3. And so I figure out, I listen to them, I hear what their question is. I text the question to my sponsor, or I text the question to Steve and Gina, or I text the question to me, or put the question on the team Facebook page. This team is full of people that want to help you succeed. You'll get the answer to your question. Now you have a reason to call that person back. I want you to call that person back and tell them the answer to their question. What that does for that person, it builds huge belief because it lets them know that you're interested in their success, that you are listening to their concerns, to their questions. And while you may not know the answer to the question, which really isn't important because I want you to be ignorance on fire, you are willing to follow up and tell them the answer to their question because what they ask is valuable. It actually matters. Now, at the beginning of this call, I said to you and shared with you a little bit about myself because there really is nothing special about me. I would say there is one thing that separates me from a lot of people, and that's that I'm disciplined. Now, I'm not structured, but I'm disciplined. And so for me, the way that shows up in this dyslexic mind that I have is that I do certain things every day, but I don't do them at the same time every day. What I have found is that if it's at the same time every day, for me, it doesn't work. But if I set a goal for myself that I just am going to be disciplined and I'm going to interact with 3 people a day about X39, and I'm going to follow up with 3 people a day about X39, and I'm going to show 1 person a day the plan, either by inviting them to one of those calls that I just talked about so that Steve, Gina, myself, or some of the other leaders can help close those people into your business, or if I'm showing them a recording, or if I'm using the digital flip chart that's right there on the Build 331 site. It doesn't matter me how you do that last one, whether you're plugging in, leaning on us, leaning on the system, or whether you're showing it yourself, whatever is comfortable for you. So every day I do that. And it was funny, just before this call, I was on Facebook and Grant Cardone, who I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, had a little quote up. And it said, Grant Cardone says, quote, "Don't expect success in places where there is no discipline." Don't expect success in places where there is no discipline. So I'm disciplined in the fact that every day I will do my 331, just like I did yesterday, just like I will do today. I'm disciplined in the fact that if you get a patch from me, I'm texting you the link, startx39.com. I'm disciplined in the fact if I interact with you about X39, I might not even give you a sample. I'm still going to text you that link. I'm using that link 100% of the time. Why? Because in a network marketing opportunity, it's not what I know, it's what duplicates. It's not what I know, it's what duplicates. And you're not looking for personalities, you're looking for people that are willing to plug into a successful system. This is the fastest growing organization in the company. This is a 19-year-old company. I've only been here for 3.5 years, you all. The fastest growing organization in the whole company. You're in the right place. You're in the right company at the right time with the right people. We're asking you to lock arms. This is not an entitlement program. You got to get out there. You got to build your business. Network marketing is a contact sport. You cannot do this business without making contact with people, whether that means picking up the phone, whether that means bumping into them at the hot yoga class, whether that means texting them. You need to make contact, whether it means sending them a message on Facebook Messenger, whatever it is, you've got to be making contact with people in order to be successful. Okay, I have gone over the time. I hope everybody has had a fantastic training. I'm really glad you attended. Just so you all know, if you're subscribed to the Onyx Coale Network Marketing YouTube page, then as soon as this call is done, you will see the live link becomes a recording. So you can text this, you can watch it again yourself, or you can text this to any of your team members that weren't able to be on live, or somebody that you think will benefit from this training, or any of the other trainings, because there's thousands of great trainings on that Onyx Coale YouTube account. There's so many incredible leaders in this group. There's like so many, I can't even name them all, but I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on April 15th. I'm really proud of each and every one of you. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Some of us are one patch wonders, but not all of us. I'd say it's like 10%. Some of you will build this business very fast, like Steve and Gina. It took them 21 days to get to the top of the plan. Others of you, it'll take longer. Who cares? Look at Gayla. It took Gayla 2 years to get to senior presidential director, and she was blessed because she was able to unplug from her residual income, her X39 business, and her business continued to grow all the way up to the top of the compensation plan. If you consistently and persistently work your business, you will find you will build a very large organization over time. And in between, you have the ability to be with us. It's different than a traditional business where you're climbing on top of here. Here, you're plugging in. The reason I want you all plugging in is you're going to hear the same words over and over again. And you know what's going to happen? I've had people call me up and they're like, Onyx, I like heard you in my head. Great. They're saying the exact same things that I said, or they're saying the exact same thing that Steve and Gina said, or the exact same thing that Mark Dickey said, or the exact same thing that Bart says. It doesn't matter. It's that you're hearing this repetition and it's gaining your confidence. Just like hearing the testimonials, your confidence grows. And when you consistently and persistently work your business, you get better and better and better. And it doesn't matter to you if it takes 3 years for Steve and Gina Merritt to say yes. You know your goal is 3 people a day, follow up with 3 people a day, and show the plan to 1 person a day. You can do this business. If I can do this business, you can do this business. There's nothing special about me except I'm disciplined. I do my business each and every day, but it's not a hard business to do. I love sharing this amazing X39 patch. I feel so blessed by God every day that the chimney sweep took a chance and put this patch on Kathy, and Kathy happened to know me and she called me, and I get to wear this amazing patch for myself. I get to share this amazing patch, and I get to watch just the world change 1 person at a time. So I can't do it without you. We're here together. We're business partners together. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on April 15th. If you get yourself to senior director, you will receive an email from Gina inviting you to Steve and Gina's home. This is the senior director sheet, and she will invite you to their home. It'll be a beautiful night. Lonnie, before we go, could you put up the screen? Quantum Field is going to have our own convention. So I want you all to save the dates. It's going to be big, big, big fun. I will take you back to April 15th. If you all don't know this, if you haven't figured out about the birthday girl, Gina knows how to throw one heck of a party. So I know we're going to have a lot of fun on April 15th. I'm looking forward to being together. I'm looking forward to you guys to being able to take pictures with David Schmidt and talk with each other and learn from each other and break bread together. There's nothing as amazing as that. Oh, you can go back. There was a book of the month club. We just started the book of the month club, which is how to win friends and influence people. And you can physically read the book, or if you want, you can grab the audio. Somebody sent me a message and said, Onyx, you're in this book. And I am. That's correct. If you find the how to win friends and influence people for women, you'll find actually there is a quote of me in the book. So this is a wonderful book to read. This is a classic. It's a great book. And again, we're building community together. We're interacting with each other. You're going to learn some simple principles on how to interact with other people and how to not take things so personal. And then the last thing is the This Is It convention. So that is going to be in August. I believe, Lonnie, can you pull that screen up for me one more time? Sorry, baby. I think the date is the 18th and the 19th off the top of my head. Quantum Field, April book of the month. There it is. Okay, so grab your camera, take a picture of that. It's going to be in Tampa, August 18th and 19th. It will be very affordable. We want you all there. Everyone is welcome. So pencil this in. We picked this date in case you had children or grandchildren that were going back to school. Most people their kids are now back in school. So that's why we picked this date. We're going to have lunch together. We're going to have dinner together. We're going to break bread. We're going to have a lot of fun. Everyone is welcome. Doesn't matter whether you're just getting started in the business or you're all the way at the top rank and you're a senior presidential director, you are welcome. And as always, the more people you bring to these events, the bigger your organization will grow, because it's amazing to be in a community of people like this. I've experienced it before, and now I'm 3.5 years into experiencing this a beautiful community of light workers. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. So again, it's Gina's birthday. So if you all know her and you want to send her a happy birthday message, I'm sure she will enjoy that. I'm sorry for going over. It's 2:12. I hope everybody has a fantastic afternoon. Remember, it's only Saturday. You've got 2 more days left in this week in order to finish this week strong before we start next week. So 331, 331, 331. Remember, it's systems that duplicate, not personalities. You've got an amazing system here that works. All you've got to do is work it. All right, we'll see you all soon. Everybody have a great day and God bless. Thank you so much, Lonnie, for the support and for flipping all the slides for me. You're fantastic. I really appreciate you. And Gina, happy birthday. We love you both.